Hello and welcome to Justice. I'm Judge Jeanine Pirro. Thanks for being with us tonight. You know, Hillary Clinton has just dug a hole for herself that now requires an indictment. Her response this past Sunday to Chris Wallace in an interview when he says that FBI Director Comey said none of the things Hillary told the American people were true says it all. Take a listen.
After a long investigation, FBI Director James Comey said none of those things that you told the American public were true.
Chris, that's not what I heard Director Comey say, and I thank you for giving me the opportunity to, in my view, clarify. Director Comey said that my answers were truthful and what I've said is consistent with what I have told the American people.
So the Target says the FBI director has characterized her answers to the FBI as truthful. Seriously, Hillary? That's not what the director says. But let's hear it from the director himself.
Secretary Clinton said there was nothing marked classified on her emails either sent or received. Was that true?
That's not true.
Secretary Clinton said I did not email any classified material to anyone on my email. There is no classified material. Was that true?
There was classified material emailed.
Secretary Clinton said she used just one device. Was that true?
She used multiple devices during the 4 years of her term as Secretary of State.
Secretary Clinton said all work-related emails were returned to the State Department. Was that true?
No, we found work-related emails, thousands, that were not returned.
Secretary Clinton said neither she nor anyone else deleted work-related emails from her personal account. Was that true?
That's a harder one to answer. There's no doubt that there were work-related emails that were removed electronically from the email system.
Secretary Clinton said her lawyers read every one of the emails and were overly inclusive. Did her lawyers read the email content individually?
No.
So FBI Director Comey, under oath, swears before Congress that Hillary Clinton did not tell the truth. Hillary Clinton lied, not once, not twice, but more than 10 times. So when the Washington Post, known for its liberal leanings, gives Hillary Clinton 4 Pinocchios and PolitiFact rates it a pants-on-fire statement and factcheck.org gives it a false rating, you would think the woman would understand and recognize the error of her ways. You would think that the presidency demands a certain amount of integrity and honesty. George, I cannot tell a lie. Washington and Honest Abe Lincoln are spinning in their graves. So what does the liar-in-chief do now that she's been exposed? She doubles down on the lie and says in yet another interview, quote, as the FBI said, everything that I've said publicly has been consistent and truthful with what I've told them. And yesterday, the crescendo got so loud at the National Hispanic and Black Journalists Conference that she tripled down and said she may have short-circuited. Take a listen to this one.
Director Comey had said that my answers in my FBI interview were truthful. That's really the bottom line here. And I have said during the interview and in many other occasions over the past months that what I told the FBI, which he said was truthful, is consistent with what I have said publicly. So I may have short-circuited it, and for that I will try to clarify, because I think Chris Wallace and I were probably talking past each other.
Hillary, it would have been so easy for you to say, I've already said I made a mistake, or I've learned my lesson. But no, not you. Folks, this is a woman who does not know what the truth is. And if her brain short circuits, is she telling us that she needs work done? Or that the work done was no good? Or that the work done didn't work? And they want to call Donald Trump unstable? At least the man says what he thinks and what he believes. You may not like it, but at least he's honest. Give me honest any day of the week. And this is far more serious. And I'll tell you why. Jim Comey swore that Hillary Clinton sent classified emails. Accordingly, she lied to us. He knew that she sent classified emails. So if the FBI knew that she sent classified emails, did they ask her whether she did? If they did, irrespective of her answer, they would have had to take her out in cuffs. If she said no, that would have been lying to the FBI. And if she said yes, that's admitting that she violated federal criminal statutes. If the FBI already knew she had sent classified information on her private server, and they did not ask her if she did, that means that they intentionally did not want to charge Hillary Clinton. Now, folks, Jim Comey was the man in charge who made the decision to prosecute Martha Stewart for lying to the FBI on a case that had nothing to do with national security. Hillary Clinton's case had everything to do with national security, and worse, everything to do with the future of this nation. And when Hillary Clinton says, "What I told the FBI, which he, Comey, said was truthful, is consistent with what I have said publicly," she is telling us that she repeated the lie that she told us about not sending classified emails when she spoke to the FBI. That means that she lied to the FBI. She is clearly stating that what she told the FBI is what she told us. She lied to us, as per Comey, and now she's telling us she told the FBI the same lie. Jim Comey's hands are now tied. He cannot do the dance anymore about how there was no intent, or that he's not sure what negligence means, or that it was only recklessness or carelessness, or that the statute isn't clear, or that no reasonable prosecutor would go forward. Comey, the prosecutor who wasn't in that room in the interview, who didn't use the opportunity to size up a prospective defendant, who didn't use the opportunity to analyze her truthfulness and her body language, the man who didn't even speak to every one of the FBI agents in that room, who quickly made a determination that she did not have the intent, which was not even an element of the crime in the first place, is now caught between a rock and a hard place. Jim Comey, for all his truth-saying, has an obligation to his oath and the Constitution. He has an obligation to recognize what this woman has said, not once, not twice, but at least 10 times, and what he has said under oath. Jim, you're running with dogs, and you know better than I that when you lie with dogs, expect to get fleas. And that's my open. Tell me what you think on my Facebook page or Twitter, hashtag Judge Jeanine. And with me now, Donald Trump supporter and former Republican presidential candidate, Dr. Ben Carson. All right, Dr. Carson, to be fair here, it's not just the lady who had a bad week. Donald, my friend, as you know, had a bad few days and wasn't ready to endorse Paul Ryan as part of the reason he had some bad days. What changed his mind?
Well, you know, he is a man who does think, and he is observant, and he recognized that he was creating a firestorm where one did not need to be created. So, you know, he went back and did the right thing, and that's key. He also, I think, is rapidly coming to the understanding that there's only one way that the Democrats can win, and that is by making Donald Trump the issue. There's also only one way the Republicans can lose. That is by making Donald Trump the issue. I think it is actually coming to him. He's starting to understand it, and I think, and I'm hoping and I'm praying that that we will see him pivot and really start talking about the issues, because there's no way that Hillary and the Democrats can defend the things that are going on. They talk and they say the economy is great, and
well, we know that it
is
isn't. But doctor, let me before you move on, let me ask you this. Donald, and you heard my open. You heard it. Did you hear my open, Doctor?
I did.
Okay.
Yes, it was good.
No, what I was saying was that at least Donald is honest. Donald says what he thinks, and that's what catapulted him beyond 16 other seasoned candidates. Now,
that's a very good point.
Okay, but is Donald now pivoting so that he says things other than what he thinks?
No, I think pivoting away from personal issues and toward the issues that affect all Americans. That's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about pivoting. And, you know, the thing that is really so disappointing is that so many people in America accept the obvious lies of Hillary Clinton. And they say, it's okay. Everybody does it. What does that say about us as a society? What has happened to our sense of morals and values?
Well, everything is defined down. Everybody expects it, Doctor. But what can Donald do? Can Donald stay? Look, you ran for office. I ran for office 5 times on a very different level. But how do you get Donald Trump to stay on message?
Well, you know, he is not dense by any stretch of the imagination. He's a smart guy.
Of course he is. And
he is observing the collateral damage that is being created by taking the bait. And I don't think people have to keep yelling at him. I think he actually is going to get this and recognize that it's up to him not to take the bait. You know, it's something that I learned when I was running. In the beginning, you know, I just thought, just be truthful and everything will be okay. Well, that's not necessarily the case. You have to know how to phrase things in a way that you don't give them additional red meat to play with.
All right, 10 points down right now. And we know and I know what you're going to say, it's the economy, it's terrorism, it's security, it's you know, making sure that he stays on issue, and he's strong on those points. And it's only August. What has he got to do to turn it around? Because there aren't that many weeks left. We've got 9 weeks.
Well, exactly. First of all, again, I can't emphasize strongly enough, he needs to talk about the things that are concerning to the American people, first and foremost. He also cannot give Hillary a pass. You know, this dishonesty thing, this is huge.
I think she's got to be indicted, Doctor. You heard what I said in my open. If he says that she wasn't truthful and she says that I told the FBI what I told the American public, that means she lied to the FBI. She's got to be indicted.
Well, I've been saying that all along. You're the first person other than myself I've heard say that. But, yeah, it was consistent. It was a consistent lie.
Right.
And, you know, it's not acceptable just because it's consistent. A lie is a lie. And it's horrible. And it leads to multiple other things. And how can we ever expect our children to have any values when we take something that is so obvious and we give it a pass?
All right. Dr. Ben Carson, I'm going to give you an honorary law degree. Thanks so much for being with us tonight.
Thank you,
All right,
Judge.
and joining me now, a member of the House Foreign Relations Committee, Republican Congressman Lee Zeldin. All right, good evening, Congressman. I am fascinated with this $400 million ransom by some, the money that went over to Iran that the White House says was not a ransom for the hostages that were released. Now, let me ask you some questions right off the bat, because number one, we sent Swiss francs and euros and not American dollars, and we didn't wire the money. The president said something like there's no bank to send it to. What's the deal with that? Why did we not send American money, or why did we not send wire the money?
Well, first off, because this was ransom. The president wants all of us, the administration wants us to believe that this was just a coincidence, that $400 million in cash would be arriving via airlift to Iran at the same exact time as 4 American hostages being released. So in order for the president, with his White House taxpayer-funded fiction writer, Ben Rhodes, for them to be able to sell this narrative, they need to start coming up with other excuses. The first one
but
is
I'm not asking you that. I'm asking you why. We can get to that later, okay? I mean, I saw the movie, what was it, Beyond Enemy Lines? What was the movie where they wait for the other car to come? What movie was that? Do you know which movie it was?
Well, I'll tell you what, it feels like Wag the Dog from the late 90s.
No, the whole administration is Wag the Dog. But I think there's another movie, Bridge of Spies with Tom Hanks, where they have to wait for the other car before they release a spy. But why the cash?
That's why we need to have a hearing. One of Congress's roles is oversight. The House Foreign Affairs Committee Chairman Ed Royce said that once we come back right after Labor Day that we're going to have a hearing on this topic. I would love to see Secretary Kerry come, if it's Secretary Liu, whoever needs to testify on behalf of the administration to explain exactly why this had to happen. The conversion is leading to more questions that unfortunately are still unanswered. I don't have a good answer as to why the administration did it, but they need to account for it. They need to tell us why that was made.
You know, you made a statement a couple of days ago to the Daily Signal, and you said the claim that the timing is coincidental is beyond unbelievable. It's clear that one of two possibility applies. Either the president has no idea what he's doing, or he knows exactly what he's doing and is playing for some other team. What did you mean by that?
Well, first off, there's a possibility that the president has no idea what he's doing. If he does know exactly what he's doing, his priorities are completely out of whack. And I've said this time and again with this Iran nuclear deal, prioritizing domestic politics over national security, prioritizing the Democratic Party over what is best for American foreign policy, prioritizing his own legacy over what's best to keep our country safe, secure, and free. I don't know what team this president plays for. There needs to be an answer. If he does know exactly what he's doing, then his priorities are completely out of whack.
Did he need congressional approval to send this money, or was this already a part of that $1 billion deal that went to Iran? Or $1.5 billion? I still don't know what the number is.
Yeah, this is $400 billion plus $1.3 billion of interest that absolutely has to come.
$400 million plus
$400 million
right.
plus $1.3 billion, right? That he had to come to Congress. I mean, yeah, $1.7 billion in total.
Right.
The Congress appropriates the funds. The president executes laws. When Congress decides to appropriate funds for a specific purpose, this president can carry out those laws. But this president is going beyond that. There's right now a court case going through the system with regards to Obamacare, with the president allocating funding that wasn't appropriated.
Well, he went around Congress too when he did the deal for Bergdahl. When he did the release of the 5 Taliban guys, you know, and this is obviously a continuing thing with him. What can we expect with the other 2 hostages, or 3, we're not sure, that are being held by Iran? More payments?
Well, that's the problem with the precedent you said. That's why you don't pay ransom. And even if the left, the far left, whatever part of the left, wants to spin this as a coincidence, saying that this money was owed, it was agreed upon, it's just a coincidence that it was sent at the same exact time. The fact is the precedent ends up resulting in now American hostages. The precedent ends up resulting in foreigners, allied countries. Now those foreigners are also hostages. And Iran, the world's largest financer of terror, working to overthrow foreign governments, pledging to wipe Israel off the map, chanting death to America, calling us the great Satan, illegally test-firing intercontinental ballistic missiles. This precedent encourages these bad actors to kidnap even more. So what do we do about these 2 or 3?
It puts all of us, it puts all of us at risk. Congressman Lee Zeldin, thanks so much. And he's a Democrat and was an ardent Bernie Sanders supporter, but now he's backing Donald Trump. You'll meet him here later. And next.